So, welcome to the online classes. Our next concept is selection of site for substations. What are the factors to be considered to select a site for substation? So, see here. So, to construct a substation, the following factors are to be considered. What are those? Means the type of substation, which type of substation we want to construct, because of we are discussing so many of substation, different types of substation, and availability of suitable and sufficient land also a basic factor. Next, atmospheric pollution can also affect the location of a site, and drainage facility availability of essential facilities to the staff. Drainage facility is one factor, and also availability of essential facilities to the staff. Drainage facility one factor. Another factor is availability of essential facilities to the staff. These are all the factors affect the location of an electrical substation. So now see here, we can discuss individually. So type of substation. Type of substation means the category of substation is important for its location. Because of, for example, it is a transformer type substation. The step down transformer should be located nearer to the load center to reduce the distribution losses. If it is not a it is a transformer type, if it is located at nearer to the substation site, what happens? Distribution distance can be increased, then distribution losses are increases. That's why what happens? Cost of distribution system increases. That's why if we are avoiding such things, the step down transformer should be located nearer to the load center to reduce distribution losses. The cost of distribution system and the better reliability of the system. Not only reduction in the distribution losses, the cost of distribution system reduces. Finally, which can provide a better reliability of the supply. Next one is availability of suitable and sufficient land. That means we know the substation equipment. That's why we already know that how much space is required. So that's why regard to that substation installation, we must be consider, we must be find the suitable land for the substation construction. Is it? So one more thing is that considered land and so finding land. Is it right? That a selected land should be level and open from all sides. It should not be waterlogged, particularly in the many rainy season. The site selected for substation should be such that approach of transmission. That means the site selected for substation should be support the transmission system, because of the input of the substation is transmission ending voltage, transmission receiving end voltage. That's why the substation must be supporting the transmission facilities. And next one is the communication facility. Suitable communication facility is desirable at a proposed station, both during and after its construction. It is better, therefore, to select the site alongside the existing roads should facilitate an easier and cheaper transportation. Is that? And next, atmospheric pollution, which is also a factor. The atmosphere around the ground factories produces metal corroding gas, air fumes, conductive dust, etc. And area near the sea coast may be more humid and is harmful to the proper running of the power system. That's why substation should not be located near the factories or sea coasts. This is main important consideration. And next thing is the availability of essential facilities to the staff. The site should be such where staff can be provided essential facilities like schools, hospitals, drinking water, housing, etc. This is the substation construction company must be provide essential facilities to the staff who are worked in that substation. Next, drainage facility. The site selected for the proposed substation should have proper drainage arrangement or possibility of making effective drainage, avoid pollution of air and growth of microorganisms and health. Is that right? These are the consideration to select a proper location of substation. Is that right? Next, we are going to discuss about rating of distribution substation. Rating of distribution substation means here the load on the distribution substation. How much load is fed on the distribution substation? The rating of the distribution substation is depends upon the load density in its service area. That means if we can consider a distribution system in its surface area, how much amount of load density is there, that decides the rating of distribution substation. If the load density increases with increasing load density, how the substation can meet the additional load requirements? That is the main important question. That is the main important problem. Here, two answers are there. Here, two possibilities are there. What are those means? Either the surface area of the given distribution substation maintaining constant or increasing its rating. First, substation can increasing its rating from the transmission system, or otherwise a new substations are installed, installing a new distribution substation and thereby maintaining the capacity of the given distribution substation constant. By using these two things, the substation can usually meet the increased load density in that service, in its service area. Is that right? So here these two factors use the short-term distribution planning. The load density is when the load density is constant, which can plan for the short-term distribution, and if the load density is increasing continuously, which can goes to the long-term distribution planning. Is it? And now, how to calculate the load density when the substation service area is having n number of primary feeders? When the substation service area having n number of primary feeders, how to calculate load density in that area? See here. The general case in which the distribution service area is served by n primary feeders, m diverged from the point as shown in figure here. From the center of the substation, the feeder is like this, and the load can be diverged from the substation in the form of this triangle. Is it? From the center, the load area is x meter distance, and this is the smallest distance, and this is the total length of the feeder. Is it? So this is n minus 1 into 2 theta means this is the total sector angle of the substation and the angle of the feeder location with respect to the substation. So now that the load in the surface area is uniformly distributed and each feeder serves an area of a triangle shape. Is it? Each feeder serves an area of triangle shape. The feeder serves a particular area that the service area can be represented within triangular shape. The differential load served by the feeder in a differential area of dA is represented with the ds is equal to d into dA, where d is nothing but load. Is it? So the served load in the differential area is d, and where dA is the differential area of feeder in kilometer square. From figure we know that tan theta. See here, no? This is a triangle. This is a triangle. Here theta also. From this tan theta is equal to y by x plus dx. This is vertical angle. Is it right? And here what happened? Here it is cosine angle. So tan theta is equal to y by x plus dx. From this y is equal to x plus dx into tan theta. So then finally total service area of the feeder can be calculated as an is equal to integral x to ln because of the length of the fader is ln integral dA. Then what happened here? We know the what happened here? Total value is x plus dx tan theta. Is it? That's why what happened? dA is nothing but it is a dA is nothing but differential area is nothing but total surface area. Then A is equal to 0 to ln. That means what happened here? ln here. Is it? So that means simply here ln means ln square because of it is area, total area, but ln means length. That's why L into L is the total area. But that area served in a tangential position. That's why ln square into tan theta. Then the total kilovolt ampere load served by the one of the n faders can be calculated as Sn is equal to integral ds. Then dn. Then what happened? Well, we know the value of ds. ds is d into dA. Is it? And also we know the value of y value. Is it? Y value means what happened here? dA value is known value. D into A, where D is capital D, A is the area. Then ln square tan theta, this area. Is it? Where D is the load density. This total load is located a lump sum load at a point on the main feeder at a distance of 2/3 into L4. That means if this load is located at a point of 2/3 into 4. In the total length, the load can be located at 2/3 of the total length meters of a feeder or kilometers of feeder, which can be expressed as 2/3 into ln square into k into Sn. Is that 2/3 into ln into k into Sn? Because of it is the load is located at 2/3 distance of the total length. That's why 2/3 into ln. Is it into k into Sn means it is additional factor to describe the percentage voltage drop. So then percentage voltage drop can be substituted here k into Sn. This is the formula for percentage voltage drop. So then Sn can be substituted in this equation. What happened here? 2/3 k into d into ln cube tan theta. Then n2 theta is nothing but 360 degrees. N2 theta is nothing but 360 degrees means total served angle of substation is along with the circumference in 360 degrees. That's why this can be represented with the 360 degrees. Total angle is 360 degrees. That's why here in the formula we have theta is there. Theta is nothing but 360/2n. So that's why we can substitute theta value here. That is percentage voltage drop at the nth feeder 2/3 into k into d into ln cube into tan 360/2a. Like this, we can calculate voltage drop in the feeder. Okay. Next, we are going to here for n is equal to 1 of this. That means here for first feeder, n is equal to 1. So first feeder, the percentage drop in the feeder means Vd1 is equal to d1 into L1 cube. For n is equal to 2, it is percentage Vd2 of k into d into L2. N is equal to 2. To compute the percentage voltage drop in uniformly loaded lateral lump and locate its total load at a point halfway along its length and multiply the kilovolt ampere mile product of the line length and loading by the appropriate constants. 5 appropriate constants. 5. Is it? Thank you. The next concept is benefits derived through optimal location of substation. So here, when we have to find the optimal location of substation, what are the benefits derived from that optimal location? For example, such optimal location is nearer to the consumer. What happens is simply the distance between the consumer and the substation can be reduces. When reduces, what are the advantages? Means failure cost reduces, electrical power losses reduces, then power losses costs also reduced, and service interruption exposure also reduce. Service interruption also reduce. Hence, substation must be located as close as possible to the consumer. That's why these are the benefits due to the optimal location of substation. Okay, thank you.